Yeah, I mean, also, Bradley, we're being told that everybody's buying electric vehicles, but nothing has struggled into the top 10, has it? So,
Well, that's bullshit, isn't it?
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Just bullshit.
Yeah,
They're not buying them. I don't know. Have we got any figures for new electric car sales?
I can find them. You see, this week is it's an interesting week because this is when people have been telling you what the sales figures are. Well, you see, the news from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders is EVs accounts for 1 in 4 new car registrations in flat February market. Now, if you read that, you'd think, well, they're that's 25% of the market. But as we know, having been in the car trade, we know that February is not a very good time, and it's certainly not a very good time if you're registering new cars.
No, January's dismal and February's not much better.
And you wouldn't do it either because you probably wouldn't get a bonus. So it's not worth doing. You want to save your sales up for when it's March because you'll probably get a bonus for all those keen people. And also, most people would not want to register a car with an old registration. So that's why that also explains why it's a very flat market. But it's unfortunate that the SMMT have to put out um, sort of releases like this where you're thinking, yeah, 25% of the market is electric, and it clearly isn't.
No, no, it's not. It's nothing like that.
No,
Right, I've got the top selling electric cars in the world
you're right.
for 2025.
Mm.
Tesla Model Y. Jesus Christ, they sold 66,000 of them in January
Yeah.
worldwide. Uh, the BYD Song and the Seal U, that's a BEV and FEV. I don't know. I know a PHEV is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. I don't know what a BEV is. Is that a purely
Mm.
electric vehicle?
But yeah,
So battery
battery
electric, isn't
battery
it?
electric vehicle.
Yeah.
That's the proper one.
So that's slightly skewed because that's petrol plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
All right. So they've sold 40. Well, they're coming, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the top 10 best-selling electric cars in the world, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Shit. Seven
Mm.
out of 10 are Chinese.
Yeah.
Number 10 is a VW ID.4. Number 4 and number 1 is the Tesla. So the Model 3 and the Model Y. But the Model 3 and the Model Y count for almost 100,000 sales in January. So that's a lot of cars.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, the February sales, yeah, Tesla Model 3 actually was second to the Mini Cooper. They sold nearly 2,000 of them and nearly 2,000 of the Tesla Model Y. So actually,
Hmm.
they're number two and three in the February top models. Whereas if you go full year, then you lose the electric vehicles completely. So that's quite interesting in that there's only a couple of vehicles sort of doing all the heavy lifting for everybody else
Yeah. Well,
there.
if you go in worldwide sales again, if you go from 11 to 20, every single one is Chinese.
Yeah. Well, that's what's coming.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I think you know what we leave the China. Well, I think we leave the electric car market to the Chinese and the Americans.
mm,
Tesla and China do it really well.
yeah. No, exactly.
And then I think Rolls-Royce, Aston Martin, Jaguar, Land Rover. I think plug-in hybrids is the future. I don't think we need. I mean, petrol engines now are so clean. And you know what? You could have a stipulation that once you're inside, the M25 or something, that you run on electric only, or there's lots of things we can do to get clean air
Mm,
zones clean without shafting everybody 15 quid a day or whatever it is.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I
I'm
mean, again, the significant thing is year to date, there is still 109,000 people buying petrol when they're sort of being bribed to go everywhere else. So that's still quite a lot of people who like petrol because it suits what they want to do.
yeah.
But
Listen,
but we
if you live in
can't.
the Outer Hebrides in Scotland, I know not many people do, but you can't have an electric car.
No, you can't.
And you know what? If you're even fairly remote, um, in west of England or the Midlands, um, it can be very difficult to have an electric car, especially in winter. As
Yeah.
soon as it's cold, the range dips. It's not the easiest thing to do. Best selling electric cars this year, so January, February.
All right. Well, the top models for February. They don't give you January, but you see the full year are the ones that you've just read out. The top models for February are Mini Cooper, Tesla 3, Tesla Y, Golf, Tiguan, Duke, Qashqai, Sportage, XC40, and then Puma.
And that's electric cars or hybrids.
No, that's everything,
That's everything. Okay.
but that's model specific. So in that, the breakdown year to date is petrol 109,940. Battery is 50,878. Diesel is 12,866. It sort of almost doesn't matter. PHEV is 19,871, and HEV is 29,844.
Again, I think there's a lot of policy driven sales there.
Yeah, there is.
I think if people were given a free choice, I think diesel would still do very well.
Yeah.
I mean, I run a diesel every day. It's Euro 6. It doesn't chuck out any smoke. It's not killing anybody, and it's still cheaper to buy and run than pretty much anything else you can go and do.
Yeah.
Although, I'm not, as I said earlier, I'm not against running an electric car for a few months and just see what it's like. I would quite like to live with one on a day-to-day basis. I've got two very good friends of mine in London. Dom's just bought a very, very good-looking Polestar, great-looking car. He absolutely loves it. And my other friend, Oliver Bailey, he's bought. He went and drove Dom's, and now he's looking at buying a Kia EV6.
Right.
So he's looking at getting an EV6 GT, which I think he can get. We found one for about 35, 36 grand. But those guys live inside the M25. They do the school run, or their wives do the school run. They work in the city, so they're always on public transport. They need a car for the school run. They need a car for whipping around London, doing the shopping. For them, it's perfect. For me, it doesn't work. Or I don't think it works for me, but I would like to try one anyway.
Yeah.
Because I need to absolutely say, no, it doesn't work. But if I lived inside the M25, yeah, 100% I'd buy one. Just makes sense. Please like and subscribe.